Welcome to the Vox Pathfinder 15R channel, and today we have a reveal. Yes, that is an empty Carvin Legacy cab I picked up for $50. Look at these speakers. These are original Carvin Magnalab square back speakers. 16 ohms. The gentleman had only 3, and I found this one selling on eBay. It's just a probably a PV eminence branded, but it looked, you know, the cone looks almost identical, just a different color. And I thought it'd be cool. They're all 16 ohms, so when this cabinet is going to be fully wired in, it will be 16 ohms. And I'm also going to show how to install these. This is a front mounted cabinet. So front mounted means a little bit scooped in the lower mids as opposed to rear mounted, which will bring the rear mids more forward, the low mids, you know, 200, 300, 400 hertz up to 500. That could be good for some things and maybe not for others. But we're going to put these old 70s Carvin speakers into a 2000 Carvin Legacy cab that was built for originally vintage 30 speakers. So let me just move these guys out of the way, and then when we're all done, we'll do a little sound test. So apparently, first thing you have to remove this front label. Now, if I was smart for this video, I probably would have loosened most of these screws for this metal grill cloth. But if you're into the show at all, you probably know by now I'm not that smart, so who cares? I did make sure to grab a Phillips head, so I guess that was somewhat smart. And I did make sure to get 2 different sizes. Again, pretty smart. I have my reading glasses with me in case I need up close and personal. Now, I think with most Marshall cabs, they're typically rear mounted, and I was wondering if you could have that option to rear mount these, but there is no back accessible plate here. You know, this cabinet is built for this to be the only opening, really. There's no screws here, it's just dovetailed in and covered in Tolex. So you have no options if you get this cabinet, in case you don't like, well, what would be described as a little more clarity in the lower mids. It's funny because people use these descriptors, and what someone thinks is great, someone else thinks is crap. And everyone's racing to say that what they've got is the best. No, your tone is what's best for you. There is no best tone. You know, as much as a country player likes his ultra clean compressed sounds for country plucking, that's just never going to do a metal player any good, right? It's just not going to happen. All right, let's just see what else needs to be done. I'm going to show you how to test these speakers as well. And you're going to test them with a regular analog ohm meter. Oops, that's still good. Okay. All right, so I got a little bit of compressed air because some of these guys are dusty. Don't do it too directly. dust is part of the charm, you know, right? For all you know, that dust is, well, here already we have a problem, Houston. Okay, let's skip that one. See if they're all the same. This one, I can mount some speakers. Now, when you're doing this, be careful that these screws don't get attached to the magnet. So, after you spend your time installing it, you realize you don't have these screws left over. Okay. Now what you're going to do to test it, put on the lowest ohm setting. You can put black to negative if you want. Hear that? So that's good. If I didn't know which terminal was which, I would just put the negative, the black probe to one side, and then look to see where the cone goes. It's going upward. So you go around and you make sure every time you're going to connect the negative probe to the same probe you connected the black one, that indeed went upward. So let's see. I think I'm just going to install one, and then we will probably cut the video short because I have to do some desoldering. And probably get the idea. Maybe I'll just skip ahead to putting the last one in and buttoning it up and giving it a test. This is real thrilling, isn't it? Watching me do this stuff. Alright, just gonna put my glasses on. There's a yellow mark there. I don't know if that means anything. So, like I said, I put the negative probe. I'm gonna just do it to the yellow side or the left side, and touch the red probe. And it extends outward. So that's what I'm looking for. Keep that orientation. Okay, now I have to see how these are all wired. So I'm going to assume that the reds will go to the negatives, right? We'll just say red to negative and white to positive. So you just want to click it in. I'm just trying to fit this on. There's all sorts of messy solder. Okay. And then I'm going to take a white one and bring it to the positive. It's hard to show. I'm trying to hold this. I can do this again. I don't trust this. I guess it feels pretty in there. We'll see. I took the wires back. Now I'll probably, next speaker, I'm just going to install with install the bottom first, because it's easier to get the wires from the top than it is to do it this way. So you just got to line the holes. Alright, there seems to be one hole. There seems to be another hole. I want to do these hand tight. Thread them in. Make sure they go in nicely. I actually had a bit of wax. It wouldn't hurt to touch up these threads with a little bit of wax so they go in nicer. Let's see, is it spinning nice with the screw? Yeah, pretty good. Gotta finagle it a little bit. Don't over tighten one too much. Okay, so that's one of the 4 speakers. A vintage speaker and a not so vintage cabinet. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the others, clean up the lead, solder on those clip thingies, whatever you want to call them, and we'll come back and we'll give it a little test. Okay, I'm back from cleaning the solder off these terminals, and earlier I was showing you to make sure whatever orientation you put the black probe always in the same. Make sure that when you put a black probe here, the red probe here, that the speaker cone pushes in the same orientation, in this case out. Now I assume that side was negative, and I put like the red to negative, white to positive, or I think I did that. This speaker had the positive here, and then when I went online they say to common practice put the red to the positive. So I did that right for the wrong reasons. So we're just going to go ahead and put the red to that side that I had the negative probe touching, such that the speaker cone jutted out, which this speaker calls positive. These are unlabeled. So sometimes you can be right for all the wrong reasons. And again, I put this speaker in the bottom first because it seemed easier to leave the top speaker for last in order to reach for the wire, instead of having this blocking the view to the wires and having to stick my head through the bottom to find everything. By the way, this is an all birch ply cab. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 plies. let's see, let's count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know if that makes any sense. Okay, so red to that left terminal. I probe the black. Okay, get these ready. Get a white one out. Okay. So I'm going to put the red to this side, to the left. You can't see it, it's off camera. Maybe you'll be able to, I'm not sure. This is the connector that I had to try and clean the lead solder off. Some guys are into that soldering speakers. I don't know. I don't think there's an issue. Just putting these clips on. Okay, so that's connected. Last speaker in the bunch. Alright, just starting these in by hand. Make sure your area is well lit if you do this. Bottom screws in for a little more support, a little bit. Alright, that seems to be done. Let's get the ohmmeter up here. Now, are we still filming? Now we're going to test the resistance of the cab. You have a speaker cable plugged in the back. Alright. Should hear a noise. Yep. And it tests that 16 ohms. Actually, yeah, right there. So yeah, 16 ohm cab. Let's see. We'll give a quick test. Use this 4 watt Vox Pathfinder that is meant to go off a 16 ohm load. Okay. Let's see how this works. Okay. Just get my guitar on. I'm still filming. Yes, we are. Just getting the guitar cable. All right. Oh, okay. It's heating up. Hopefully hopefully we got it right. Okay, just to give you an idea of the volume difference, I'll unplug this back to the stock speaker. No slouch. Yeah. Oh, let's go back. Okay, turn the volume back on. Okay, just to show you the settings. So, we weren't anywhere near as loud as it could be. Alright, thank you for tuning in. This has been the Vox Pathfinder 15R channel, and I'm just going to put the grill cloth back on there, see how it works.